good political art is always created on enemy territory. You know what I mean? And it should be oppositional. It should be confrontational. It should, if done right, move the goalposts and make people consider other, not just other ideas, but other sounds than the ones that are being force-fed them by the mainstream.
I was speaking with Bob Geldof recently, and he lamented that rock and roll as an instrument of change is over. I wonder how that comment strikes you, Tom.
The part of what he says that rings true is that there's not a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young singing, Ohio that's on every radio station. There's not a Rage Against the Machine, making, 5 videos for an album that people are forced to think about the Zapatistas or the writings of Noam Chomsky or whatever. But there's a lot of music that may not be at the top of the charts that is, written for these times. And they've got Kendrick Lamar's show at performance at the Super Bowl, which, that's the biggest television audience maybe outside of the World Cup in the world. And that was as political a performance as certainly anything in the Rage Against the Machine, lexicon, that forced people to, caused a lot of tumult in our country and forced people to contend with ideas very much outside of the current accepted paradigm.
A common response, Tom, to outspoken artists such as yourself is to essentially be quiet and stick to making art. What is your response to that sort of attitude when you hear it?
First of all, people only say that when they disagree with your point of view. That's the only time that ever comes up. And certainly in our country, like the idea that somehow you're required to relinquish your First Amendment freedom of speech rights when you pick up a guitar is so ridiculous. I would say that you're doing a great disservice if in whatever your vocation, you leave what you think and believe behind, whether you're an interviewer or a carpenter or a student or a, whatever, a painter or a, plumber. That the idea that leaving behind what you believe and working towards the kind of world that you believe might be better for oppressed people is something you should leave out in your art is absolutely ridiculous. First of all, I think that art should reflect the human condition. And so there should be songs about love and about enjoying fast cars and about, those are parts of the human condition. So too is revolution. So too is standing up against injustice and oppression. Why should that particular segment be left out? Because it offends people who disagree with that point of view. They can always turn the channel.
History, like music, is not something that happens. It's something you make. Thank you very much.